Welcome to our channel. The Seagull at the Barbican. Neil Dowden in central London. Thomas Ostermeier, artistic director of Schaubühne in Berlin since 1999, has had a number of his productions staged in London over the years, including An Enemy of the People in the West End a year ago. But for the first time, he has created a show here, his fourth engagement with Chekhov's tragicomic masterpiece, The Seagull, as with the Ibsen, co-adapted with Duncan Macmillan. As you would expect from one of the most feted exponents of director's theater, it's a radical reworking of this classic text, featuring a starry cast led by Cate Blanchett and Tom Burke. We know it's going to be different from the off when Simeon in the original, rolls across the stage on a quad bike, stopping and starting to comic effect. Acting as a sort of MC, he jokes with the audience, "How are you doing in the upper circle?" before playing guitar while singing Billy Bragg's selfless love song, The Milkman of Human Kindness. After the interval, he performs the same artist's long-suffering The Man in the Iron Mask. Simon, whose job has been changed from teacher to factory worker, presumably to ramp up class differences, is a drolly self-deprecating everyman figure whose feelings, like most of the characters in this play of romantic love triangles, are painfully unrequited. When the woman he loves, the even more dissatisfied Masha, arrives, and the play itself begins, she melodramatically declares, "I am in mourning for my life," perfectly encapsulating the melancholic absurdity that runs all the way through The Seagull. Of course, the initial breaking of the fourth wall, which occasionally recurs, takes its cue from this being Chekhov's most theatrical work, with characters professionally involved in theater, as well as its play within a play. The widowed actress Irina Arkdina returns to the family estate with her younger writer-lover Trigorin, while her frustrated wanted playwright son Konstantin stages his own new experimental symbolist play by the lake performed by the girl he is hopelessly in love with, Maina. He talks of the need for new forms to replace the conventional theater he despises, and in which his mother has made a successful career. But his own work is pretentious, and he goes off in a huff when the small invited audience, wearing VR headsets, do not pay it the respect it doesn't deserve. Ostermeier makes it meta with the artistic discussion containing self-reflexive satirical comments about theater that tickle the Barbican audience. They include a jest at his own expense as, echoing Konstantin, he once notoriously claimed, as the then avant-garde enfant terrible of German theater, that directors over 40 should give way to youth. He's now 56. There's plentiful use of a microphone, also archly referenced, which many of the characters speak into at some point, though this seems rather random as sometimes they convey deep inner feelings while other times they are making public statements. Ostermeier's production accentuates the awkward comic moments and general sense of ennui in the play without becoming boring itself. At times it echoes absurdist theater. The characters do tend to take themselves extremely seriously, each engrossed in their own private drama or playing a part they only half believe in. Of course, Chekhov's compassion always shines through for these sad, if sometimes silly, people whose potential is often unfulfilled. Although some sense of poignancy does develop here, this is not the most moving account of The Seagull, even if it is a genuinely fresh take on a very familiar work. The audience is certainly embraced in the staging. A promontory, or perhaps jetty, sticks out into the stalls, with the auditorium becoming the lake while on stage a clump of tall reeds. Ostermeier's regular designer Magda Willi is used ingeniously for exits and entrances, as we see them quivering before people pop out. Blanchett gives a bravely unsympathetic portrayal of the attention-seeking, sunglass-wearing Arkdina, who is more prima donna than grande dame. She also played Nana at Belvoir Street Theatre in Sydney in 1997, so similarly to the character she has matured from up-and-coming to celebrated actor. There's very little maternal concern towards Konstantin, whom she evidently finds an encumbrance and a reminder of her advancing years, while she's both professionally and emotionally jealous of young Nina, with whom Trigorin becomes involved. It's also a very entertaining, energetic performance, fake fainting then grabbing a cushion to put under her head, even tap dancing and doing the splits, as well as raucously singing a few notes from Bob Marley's No Woman, No Cry, as an insecure woman who is always putting on an act, though occasionally it verges on the cartoonish.